In this live self-defense training video, I'm going to show you how to use the short stick for self-defense. This is also known as the Japanese or Okinawan Tanbo. It's 18 inches long. Generally, that's going to be from like the tip of your finger, somewhere near your elbow. It can be a little bit longer, it can be a little bit shorter. You can make this any size you want. It's just a dowel rod that I cut in half, 36 inches. It's made out of oak, 1.25 inches in diameter. You sand it really well, you soak it in oil. I like butcher block oil for a couple days. And then if there's a police shortage in your area and you need to carry your own self-defense tool, this is an excellent option because it's very simple to use. Anybody can learn how to use it. You're gonna learn how to use that now. So you're gonna start with it in either the right hand or the left hand, depending on which is your dominant hand. The other hand is always up, and I like to have it open. This means you're saying stop, back up, and then you can strike with it very quickly. When you have the small side coming out of your hand like this, you make it harder for him to grab it and take it away from you. So starting in this position first, by turning your shoulders and hips, extending the arm, you can stick it right into his face. We're gonna call this the threat. Your hands are up and open. You've made yourself a smaller target by taking a step back. You give a verbal command, you're too close to me, and then you can simply jab and make that first strike very quickly. This hard piece of oak is gonna smash his nose, his teeth, his throat for self-defense. You're gonna stick it right in the middle of his body, anywhere in that center line. You can hit in here, you can hit into the solar plexus, you can go down between the belly button, the private part, and strike right here in that fascia, put him on the ground. Now from this position, you can also turn, swinging your shoulders and hips, and allow your wrist to flick it out this way and let this hard bar of oak come across his eyes, across his face, into his neck, and turning, striking. You can do a combination, strike one, strike two, grab it in the other hand, and then bring it in full force, smashing into his face. So if there's a police shortage where you live and you're worried and you want to be able to defend yourself, this is just a little extra protection you can carry. There are other options too that people will say, you know, I'd rather have this. Fine, you can have this and this, or if you don't want to carry these or where you live, you can't carry one of these, then think about carrying a simple self-defense stick. So this, again, this is just the Tanbo. It's 1.25 inches. Good morning, Ghost Hawk. Good morning, W9 UFO. It's good to see you guys here. Thrusting, twisting, and two-hand with this smash. There's one more with the two hands in this position, and I'll just have you take this and stick it right through his face, this hard bar of oak, into his nose, into his teeth, into his throat for self-defense. Keeping it simple is always the best. Now, from this position, you can bring it up so that the long side is coming out of your thumb and you have a little bit coming out of the bottom. Now from this position, same thing, you make yourself a smaller target, stepping back, put the stick between you and the threat. We're calling this the threat. You can do that jabbing motion, pulling to your shoulder, turning through your shoulders and hips, thrust, strike here, strike here. You can swing and have this part come here. You can swing and bring the small part back here. You can smack that across his face, turning it here, smashing down. Maybe it's the top of his head, maybe it's his hand, smashing here. Bart V's here from Flanders, good to see you. In Belgium, Garrett, nice to see you, haven't talked to you in a while. Yes, nice to see you. Haven't talked to you either, it's good to see you here. Barry Wong was just in San Francisco, Barry said he felt more confident with his cane. One dude, good to see you. AM, hello from Louisiana. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I know some of you are going to be with me tomorrow. We're starting the Zoom cane. I'm doing a 6-week course. I still have plenty of room. The first 10 people get $100 off of the course. If you want to do that, G. Carlton, good to see you. Either put a comment below and I'll respond to that, or send me an email, pasquinelli@hotmail.com. We're going to start with a cane, but we're going to do these too. Yeah, Garrett's ready for some lessons. All right, so in this position, you're carrying it. The small side comes out the back. You have this thrust, you have these angular strikes, you have horizontal strikes, you have vertical strikes coming down. You can even bring this straight up between his legs or up under his chin, either turning your palm this way or just flicking the wrist this way. Now from this position, you can also turn your wrist Irish stick fighting style, like you're using the Shillelagh, and you can twist, and that twisting motion increases the speed, hitting the temple, hitting the jaw, hitting the neck. That's going to do some damage for self-defense, just twisting over here. And the key is you're keeping the stick between you and the threat. Smashing this in with two hands into his face. You can come into the body here this way. You can box the ears. You can use it as a battering ram to smash him and move him back. Again, coming in the center line of his body. If you bend your knees, you can lower yourself and then come up and stick that right into the solar plexus, the whole force of your body coming off the floor, concentrated into a small piece of hard wood, held with two of your hands, and let the stick do the work. Bring it up here, you can bring it down on top, you can switch feet and bring it in this way. There are so many ways that you can use this simple self-defense stick. Yeah, and Garrett says the reason he's training, the earth isn't getting any nicer. And we go in cycles, it will. Garrett, I firmly believe that we've entered a period of chaos, but we'll come out of that. Things will be great again. Michael Sanchez, good to see you. Did I see the woman that got bricked? No, I'm sorry to hear that, but I know that these stories are happening all the time. Innocent women, innocent men, innocent children getting attacked by people who have mental illness or have no fear of retribution. In Austin, they said there's a police shortage. That's why I want you to carry your own self-defense tool. But they said there's a police shortage in Austin. Instead of calling the police, if you need some help, call 311 and they'll send a social worker, or they'll send whatever they call a community person to come out. I don't know what they're gonna do when they get there. Your guess is as good as mine. Hopefully you won't need it. Hopefully you'll learn how to defend yourself and then we make better choices, don't go in those areas. But the problem is we can't always avoid the places where the crime is. Sometimes you have to get on the bus and you have to go about your life. Sometimes you have to get on the subway, you've got to go to work, you've got to go to school, you have to go to the grocery store, you have to go at certain parts of the day because you work 2 or 3 jobs and you have no choice. And this whole argument that you need to change what you're doing to keep yourself safe, yes, that's true as much as you can, but we shouldn't have to do all of this. We shouldn't have to be learning how to defend ourselves, but since we do, I want you to learn how to defend yourself well, and especially using this Tanbo, the self-defense stick. It's like I tell the school teachers when we talk about responding to an active shooting. I don't think they should be the first line, but they are. And since they are, then I want them to be as prepared as humanly possible, right? I want them to survive, and I want them to be able to take the children that are with them and for them to survive too. And I want you, I'm gonna lower the camera, so hold on for a second. It was a little too high. I want you to be able to defend yourself. I'm gonna move it. And I want you to be able to do it very effectively. And that's why I love training with sticks. You can hit a stick or hit a person with a stick for self-defense if you keep it simple and it does work. So we're gonna break it down, we're gonna slow it down. I want you to show you the first thing that you're gonna do when you're defending yourself is you pay attention to what's around you, situational awareness. Number 2, get into a better position. Either step back, making yourself a smaller target. And I'm a big, broad guy, so you can see smaller target, the hands up, the stick up between you and the threat. The third thing, you're gonna ask yourself a question. What can you remove or destroy? And this comes from Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer. I'll put the link below if it's not there already in the description. But from here, thrusting, from your shoulder, striking, swinging, backhand strikes, two-handed pushing, two-handed strikes in here. And you can work those into a combination. 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 here, 5 back here, 6 two hands. We'll make 7 a two-handed strike this way. So we'll just practice that combination. 1, 2, 3, swinging 4, swinging back 5, smashing 6, two hands. And notice that you're advancing as you do it. Ideally, he's backing up. You want to close the distance. You want to close with and destroy. It's another principle of self-defense. You want violence of action. You want to hit him, put him on the ground. When it's self-defense, when it's your life or his life, you want to use violence against his violence. You want to be the first mover if you can. In Michigan, you can conceal carry, where it being a handgun, but it's illegal to carry an 18-inch stick, unless you conceal it. Most of the concealed carry laws will allow you to conceal silly things like nunchucks, sticks, or whatever. You might have an expandable baton. It's not legal to carry open, but it is legal to carry concealed for some reason. I think if you look at your license, then you can carry certain things and other things you can't. But yeah, a lot of these laws that protect the criminals seem really stupid to me. But that's why we're training. There's a police shortage. Learn to carry your own self-defense tool. So from here, in this position, you're gonna switch hands, put in the other foot, and then practice the same combination, coming off the shoulders, swinging in, swinging back, two hands, and then two hands like this, leading with the front side of your body. That's my right side. Hello, Sensei Emmett, it's good to see you. For those of you who don't know, Sensei Emmett has a new book out. It's on Amazon. You can download it. You can read it right after. You can stop watching this. You go read it right now. Yeah, Michael Sanchez says the cane is legal everywhere. That's why I love teaching the cane. I'm starting the cane self-defense class tomorrow. We're going to do it on the Zoom. I already have a bunch of people signed up. I still have room. The first 10, I still have, I think, 4 spots. The first 10 get a $100 discount, so it's only $150. It's normally $250. And I would love to see you there. I'd love to train with you. That gets you 6 weeks. We'll train every week, at least twice a week. And then you can send me your video for feedback, and I will give you as much feedback as I can. So thrusting here, slashing through, swinging in, swinging back, 2 hands, and then smash. Now there's so many more ways that you can use this. The question was, are there more types of devices like blackjacks? Blackjacks are illegal in most places, but most police officers, older police officers will tell you they had a little pocket in their duty pants that the blackjack fit in, because cops carry the blackjack, and there's a reason they carry it. A blackjack, if you're not aware, is just a piece of leather. It's a strap of leather, usually with a lead weight in one end and sewn shut, and it's really thick, like shoe leather. And a slapjack or blackjack, I've heard it called both. It's very effective. My father used to have one when I was a kid. We would mess around with it, but it could really it would knock somebody out easily. And it was a really effective self-defense tool, but they're illegal in most places. So you have to make sure if you do find a blackjack or make your own, that you're allowed to carry it. Even if you conceal it, some things you can't conceal and carry that. But if you're interested in blackjack, look it up. It's a really cool device. Now, from this position, I want to have you practice twisting the wrist. And I know we talked about this just a couple minutes ago, but I want you to get really good at this flicking motion. And I like to practice just walking around and twisting. And what's going to happen is when you first start to do it, you're going to feel it a little bit in your elbow. You're going to feel it in your forearm. And then over time, your forearms are going to get more powerful. They're going to get thicker, more muscular. Your flexibility is going to improve. And you're going to be hitting harder and harder and harder and faster just from practicing. And so if you pick one thing to practice from this video, I would do that. I would have you practice that. In fact, why don't you please put in the comment section what it is you're going to practice if you're going to practice some of these techniques. Now, I also make these. You can make your own. Get a 36-inch dowel. I like 1.25 inches, or you can go for 1 inch. I make both sizes. There's a link below if you want to buy one of mine. And they're not that expensive, but if you make it yourself, it's even cheaper. But there's a police shortage. Police shortages are everywhere. I didn't see Sensei Emmett's comment. Somewhere there are no police shortages. There are no police shortages here where we live in Florida. Although it is hard for some municipalities to find people, but unfortunately, a lot of other communities that are not very supportive of the police, like Austin, Texas, and they had the whole defund and all that stuff that happened earlier, some of those officers have relocated to places like Florida where there were bonuses if you came down here, and it's just an environment where the community is still very supportive, and so they want to work in communities like this. So, yeah, Sinja Man says they're legal. So it just depends on where you live. But you might be facing a police shortage where you are, and instead of calling 311 and getting a social worker to come out and talk about your feelings or whatever it was while the guy's got the knife at you, maybe you learn how to defend yourself with a stick. Because you can always, if you don't have the stick with you, you can roll up a magazine and make your own stick. You can fight with sticks. If you know how to stick fight, the stick fighting knowledge stays with you, goes with you wherever you go, and then you'll find a stick to defend yourself. Whether it's a long stick like this, shorter, or even longer, or one with a crook like the cane, like the walking cane. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. I will see you in a little bit. I'm getting ready. I'm trying to set up the Zoom for the Zoom class tomorrow. Again, I still have some spots available. If you want in on that, please email me at pasquinelli@hotmail.com. I think my phone number is even listed here. If you go to the channel page for YouTube, you can send me a text, and I would love to see you online. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.